Hi, this is Cheryl from May Arts Ribbons. Today I have a beautiful home decorating project to share with you. This is something that I put together for my guest bath to hold some spare towels, a couple of candles, and some extra product for my guests that they might need while they're visiting. It started out very simply with this fun little trunk that I found. It's a new product, but it kind of looks a little vintage or retro. You can see a little bit, some different angles here of the trunk, but obviously it's not the showstopper here. To it, I added some lining. You see it in the background up here, probably best. Let me see if I can pull this forward and maybe tilt it a little so you can see it. It's a beautiful green batik fabric, so it brings in a little bit of purple, several different shades. There's a little blue there, several different green shades and the like. It's just a gorgeous fabric. When you look at it, it kind of reminds you of a garden. So perfect lining for my project. That was another thing that was important. I selected towels that match that. I love this green. They call it soft olive, although to me that's not an olive green. And then this sort of, it's not really off-white, it's not really white, it's not really ivory, it's kind of a vanilla color. It has a brightness to it, but between those colors I thought that they made beautiful guest towels for the bath, that they were going to fit well with my color scheme and everything else. Now for my towels, you can see that I have them rolled in there. I added to them a little bit of May Arts lace. There's this beautiful 1.5 inch lace that I laid over the top and actually used a safety pin to attach to keep those rolls tight. And then over top of that, I laid this beautiful ivory with gold edges ribbon. You'll see I have bows of that tied on the face cloths, but not so much on the hand towels. You wouldn't see them anyway. So simple way to deal with the towels. My little candle holders, I also dealt with in a very simple way. I wrapped them with some of that ivory with gold edges ribbon. I added sort of a little loop and a bow and these fun little gold. These are actually very large gold stamens, but they look kind of fun, just sort of hanging there to the side. And then I also added a purchased purple flower to tie in all the colors. So that was my candle decoration. Again, super easy. My products over here are done similar to these couple of guest soaps. They're in a nice sheer bag, tied up. I have those gold stamens here for interest, a little bit of the golden ivory ribbon, and a purchased flower, again, to keep in the color scheme. So everything ties together really well. Now, obviously, the thing that I want to show you, and to me the showstopper for this project, is this beautiful floral spray that's in the back, and I'm pulling it closer for you to be able to see. I'm going to adjust the camera angle a little bit for you here too so that you can see it better. But it's set on a base of a very simple bow. So I want to show you how to do this simple bow, as well as how to do these beautiful flowers that I made for the arrangement using a crinkle edged ribbon. There's only a couple of kinds of flowers in the arrangement. I'll call them posies because I don't think they have another name, that are made with the crinkle edge ribbon. These sort of ivory flowers are a 4-petal flower. There's lots of instructions for those on the net, as well as pods. And so I have a gold pod, and there's a purple one and a green one down here. Those are very simple, and you'll find the instructions for those on the net too. So let me push this back out of the way a little bit and sort of adjust my work area and camera angle a little bit so I can show you, first of all, how to make that background bow, this sort of base in the back. I'm not tying anything with it. I'm going to use this green ribbon to show you how to create it, just so you can see it. And give me just a moment because I realize I have to change my camera angle to go down to my work area now. So I'm going to start out just by laying it out almost in an M shape. So I'm going to have ribbon that goes this way, and this way. Now I could stop there and have a fairly thin bow, or I can go and sort of complete the M. Sorry, I'm trying not to get this all messed up back there. So this completes sort of an M shape. You can see it there. And then I like to bring the tail back. So I would cut my ribbon right here. So I have a cut end here and a cut end here. And then very simply, you're going to grab a needle and thread and take a running stitch through the center of all of this. And then gather it together. And that gives you the beautiful looking sort of bows. 2 loops on each side plus the 1 cut edge. So everything's balanced and everything looks good. The only thing you have to figure out is how wide does this need to be. So super easy. Might take you a couple of attempts, but you're going to get it, and you're going to get it fairly quickly. Now for the flowers, all of the purple flowers you see back there, I use this same ribbon. It's a white May Arts crinkle edged ribbon. I love the edging of this. It's so much fun. So to make it the color I needed it to be, I used my Copic markers to color the ribbon. Copic is an alcohol ink marker, so it's a beautiful sheer color, many different colors available. Here I'm just coloring on that ribbon, sort of being careful to get the end, making sure that I get the top and bottom edges as well. Usually when you're working on a flat ribbon, it goes very quick. Not that this is not, it's just you have to take a minute with those crinkle edges to make sure that you've caught the crinkle edge. It's so easy to miss that. But you're going to work the length of your ribbon. For the flowers that I made, I'm working with a 9-inch length. This is 1.5 inch wide ribbon, again with the crinkle edge, although you could do it with any 1.5 inch wide ribbon. It just wouldn't be as pretty. These crinkle edges add a lot of life and oomph and all those good things. So my ribbon basically is colored now. It's also dry now. It's alcohol ink marker. It dries very quickly. So I'm at the point now where I can begin to make that flower. So it's very simple. I'm going to fold those 2 crinkly edges together and hold them like this. I need a needle and thread. And hopefully there's some thread on the needle. Yes, there is. Normally I would use a coordinating color so that if it showed, it wouldn't call attention to the thread. This one I'm using a little bit of contrasting thread just so you can see it easier. But I'm going to do a running stitch from one end to the other. Not sure I knotted that end, so I'm going to leave a tail down there. And I'm just going to continue with my running stitch to the end of this flower. Again, keeping it folded in half and the like. Let me put a knot here at the end so I can pull this tight. The one thing that I've found is that while you could do your running stitch and then gather your flower, you wouldn't necessarily know if you picked up a stray knot in there. So I like to gather as I go. That way I know there's no knot, and when I get to the end I know I don't have problems. I did have several issues with that when I was creating these flowers when I didn't gather as I went. So you keep doing that through the entire length. Again, when you get back to this end, you are going to stitch till nearly the end and sort of angle up here. When you pull it all tight, you get something that looks like this, very much pulled together and that sort of thing. I like to sew it onto a piece of crinoline. It's sometimes also called buckram. That will stabilize the flower. You can keep pushing it around until you have a shape that you think is desirable. But see here, you can see how those crinkle edges are already adding so much interest and so much fullness to that little flower. It's really a very cool result. Of course, if you wanted to use stamens like I did, You would want to put them in at this stage too, and then you just simply stitch it down to this crinoline so that it's stabilized in the way that you want to see the finished flower to work. And then once you're finished, you can cut off all this extra crinoline. You don't need it for anything. You just need the tiny little bit that stabilizes it. So normally there's a recommendation that you work on 2x2 squares. I just cut some off and it's close to 2x2, but it's not exactly right. So again, I can do this for as many color flowers as I want to have in my bouquet. Just color them with the Copic marker or another alcohol ink marker and make the flower. I can also use the Copic marker, for example, if I have white stamens. I wasn't able to get custom colors of those, so I used that to color my white stamens and it worked quite well. Again, I'm going to pull this back and focus in on the arrangement for you again so that you can see that all of these purpley flowers that you see here are done using that same method. My bow back here is done using that sort of M-fold that I showed you before. So all very easy and very manageable. It does take a few minutes to get it done, but it's just well worth the time and effort. This is just going to be gorgeous in my guest bath. It would be nice, but it wouldn't be nearly the same without these accent ribbons. They're all just beautiful. Again, there's a difference in ribbons. I'm assuming because you're watching May Arts Ribbons videos that you know that. I love that the May Arts ribbons are always very soft and flexible. For example, this white that I colored, even though I colored it with alcohol ink markers, it's still soft, it's still pliable, it still has the sparkle and shimmer that it came with, and it still has the crinkle edge. It's all in there. So a lot of times I just focus on buying white ribbon and I'll fill in the colors when I know the colors for my project. But as you know, May has so many different types and colors and what have you with the ribbons and laces and that sort of thing. Always an enhancement. Again, is this necessary? The ribbon bouquet? Absolutely not, but how gorgeous is it? It will definitely be a conversation piece as well for that guest bath. So thanks for watching today. I encourage you to try your own home decorating projects and see where you can incorporate ribbons and make them just that much more special. Thanks for watching. Bye.